Juwan next to Don.
Have my STEEZ.
Hit with the goddamn round 7.
Tips.
And predictions. Alright.
Let's see what we got this week, man.
Yeah, so getting right off into it. First game, bro. First game we got Richmond and Western Bulldogs. Who you got and why?
Alright. At the MCG, I have Western Bulldogs winning it by 30 points. I actually think they're gonna make a statement and show that they're the best team in the comp right now. So it's interesting because Western Bulldogs won't have Josh Dunkley undergoing the shoulder surgery, and Dusty's going to visit his parents in New Zealand, and I think he's got a concussion. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it, and I think Western will make a statement.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bulldogs by 20. Pretty much because Dusty isn't playing. Dusty really didn't show up last game against Melbourne, and we saw how that ended. And I think the Bulldogs are better than Melbourne, so I see them winning. Just off that, you know what I'm saying? But
Western Bulldogs more suited to cover that loss than they are to cover Richmond. That's Dusty.
So next game, Collingwood versus Gold Coast. Gold Coast Suns.
What's it, Gold Coast? Man. So this game is interesting because I would like to. If you asked me like a couple weeks ago, I would have had Collingwood winning by a heavy margin. But right now, Gold Coast is doing pretty good right now. Collingwood's slipping, so I think the the momentum is going to keep on going in Gold Coast's favor, and I think they'll win by a slim margin of 4 points.
Interesting. So I actually have Collingwood winning this by 18. I do think I agree with what you said, but I still have a little bit of hope in Collingwood. In Grundy, I think their pieces are more. Their players are just more experienced, and I think that it's going to come into play against the Suns. I think what's his name? Nathan Buckley is really trying to keep his job. This is a game that they can't lose. They're at home, so yeah, Collingwood by 18.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Collingwood wins this, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm just not gonna keep getting disappointed by them.
Fair enough.
All right, next game we have Adelaide at home at Adelaide Oval versus GWS Giants. This is gonna be an interesting matchup. Go ahead, man. Why don't you go first?
So this is a tough one for me because these are two teams that I'm growing to like a lot. The Crows with Tex Walker, GWS with Toby Green. But I'm going to have to go GWS this game. I got GWS winning this by 24. I think their team is a little more hungry. I don't think GWS would lose a 30-point lead. They're more fighters. They might give up after they fall behind a little bit. But if anybody watches the Crows, there's no reason to give up when you're playing the Crows. Anybody can come back from how they play. Like, the Crows are definitely going to give you that opportunity, and GWS is going to take advantage. So yeah, GWS by 24.
It's very interesting because I have Adelaide winning this at home with 27 points. I'm not high on Adelaide. Something tells me this week they're just gonna turn up, man. Riley Thilthorpe, I hope that he follows up. Let's see what type of follow-up performance he'll have. If not, then Tex is gonna have to hold his weight as far as if my point is gonna stand and my tip is gonna stand. That's correct. I think GWS, like you said, and like we continue to say and continue to instill in our memory that Giants, they fight. They'll fight every fight, and I agree with you. Like, Adelaide will put you in a position to allow you to make a comeback. So I can absolutely see GWS coming back. I think they probably will start out at the bottom. I don't necessarily see GWS coming out on top in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But I think it's all up to the other role players of Adelaide. I think they have some decent players to do it, but we'll see if they can all put it together and not blow another lead. And if Tex can be the one to put him on his back. And he hasn't done that, I feel like, in a couple games. Or maybe it's just this last game. But I think if he can do it, he'll do it against GWS. And that's what I'm predicting.
Fair enough. All right. Next game, we got St. Kilda versus Hawthorn Hawks. Who you got?
I feel like we split on this one too, man.
Me too.
So, all right. So this game, I looked at the previous last couple games, and they both do not have the best track record. Hawthorn winning this last week looks good for them, but this is in Marvel Stadium. I actually have St. Kilda winning by 24 points. They're trash. They are trash, but I'm just waiting for Membry and Steele to have a good game. Like, they were playing decent in the beginning of the season, more so than recent games. But come on, yeah. Y'all are supposed to be a final side. Like, I'm expecting that to come out this week. Like, if you disappoint me and you show me that you can't beat Hawthorn by a heavy margin, or if Hawthorn makes a comeback against you, then all hope is lost for this team this season. Like, I'm not gonna tip St. Kilda.
So wait, you talking how much?
Oh, what was it? 24.
So St.
St.
Kilda
Kilda.
24. I just feel like it's more exciting to split games, bro. Cause I was actually gonna go to Saints this game. I'm still gonna go to Saints, bro. I don't believe in the Hawks, bro. I only got the Saints winning by 12 though. It is because they're at home, and I feel like the Saints do this thing where they'll win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, and yeah, the Hawks aren't much of a threat. They're coming together. If you can stay strong against the Hawks, you'll beat them. And the Saints are a comeback team as well, so yeah, I believe in the Saints a little bit more. So Saints by 12.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't think we both were gonna go Saints there. I didn't even know I was gonna go Saints there. To be honest. Next game we have the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba versus hosting Port Adelaide at home. Port Adelaide aggression. Do you think they're gonna come out with the aggression or not, man?
I do. I think Port Adelaide is gonna come out and win this against Brisbane.
This is interesting, dog.
I got Port winning by 15. I think it's gonna be a tough game. I think this is gonna be a standout game for both teams. I think for Port to be considered a top team, because they kind of fell out of that discussion they fell out of that discussion because the Bulldogs and Melbourne have been playing so good. But don't sleep on Port. They haven't really lost a game like that either, except against West Coast. But Port has been looking good. So Brisbane's been looking better, but Port has been consistent. Port has been that team since the start of the season. So yeah, Port by 15.
All right, man. It's very interesting because I have Brisbane by 15. Yes, Lord. All right, Brisbane beat us. I said Brisbane. Brisbane beat us last week. Tough loss. They played great though, man. They just looked unstoppable, bro. They just seemed to have an answer for anything we had. And this was a Carlton team playing pretty decent. This isn't a usual Carlton team that Carlton team that you're thinking is bad and play like shit. But nah, man. Brisbane made me a believer. The forward line looked great. They actually all had a hand in playing pretty good in the victory. I like Port Adelaide's forwards too, though. They're pretty good, so it'll be interesting to see who can capitalize and who will actually, the inaccuracies and the inefficiency, who will play this week. I think that'll be something to watch out for. Who will hit the goals and who will miss. There's also the young dude. What is his name? Devin Robertson, or one of the Sins. But he was a young dude. I want to say this is one of his first games, and he started turning up. So I'm kind of banking on his future success. That he'll back up this last strong performance with another one. It's It is a toss-up, man. I don't know. I'm not confident that Brisbane will win this game, but I'm confident enough to back them.
You think Brisbane sports are better than Port sports?
No, I'm not saying I think they're better, but I think. Well, I can't say that they're not, but at their best, can you say Danaher, Hipwood, and Charlie Cameron?
They're better than Motlop, Fantasia.
Oh, Fantasia misses a lot. Motlop.
So does Brisbane. So does everybody on Brisbane.
We'll see, man. Motlop, he showed them one game.
Motlop, and Motlop turned up against y'all?
Hell no.
Oh, Houston did.
It was what's the name that turned up? Georgiades turned up on us too.
Yeah.
They all turned up on us. Fuck it. Shit, we played shit.
I can't go against Port till they lose against somebody. Next game we got Sydney versus Geelong. Who you got on this, bro?
Man, I don't know what Sydney's gonna show up, but we're gonna predict that the shitty Sydney pulls up, and we will predict Geelong with a strong and convincing 38-point win. Geelong had a strong performance last week, as we all know, and I think they will continue to back that up. Jeremy Cameron did not have the best performance. He had a decent performance, but I will continue and have faith that he will have a stronger performance this week, and he will have more than 2 goals. Rohan showed me absolutely a lot last week. He played pretty good. I didn't know he was that type of caliber player. So I think he will show up again on a weakened and plagued Sydney team. And that's about where I stand. 38-point lead, Geelong Cats.
It is interesting you say that because I am also on the same train of thought. I have Geelong winning by 40 points. I think it is also going to be a pretty convincing win. Sydney is on a downward slope, and I don't see them climbing their way out of this, especially against a hot Geelong team that just put the fucking beaters on the West Coast Eagles. So I do not see them letting up on the little swans out there. I don't see them letting up on the young swans, if you will, after just completely destroying us. So yeah, Geelong Cats by 40 points.
The Swans were essentially last week turned into geese.
Indeed.
Goslings, if you will. Tipping off the next game, we have the North Melbourne Kangaroos facing off the Melbourne Demons, 11:10 p.m. And this game shall be very interesting. Actually, I don't think it will be. I think Melbourne should come out with a convincing win. And I actually have them tipped by 80 points, believe it or not.
Wow.
I don't think it is very far-fetched considering how North does not play a full and complete game. I think Melbourne plays a full and complete game, and I think they demonstrated that, and they have proved anybody wrong if you think so far that they're not the contenders for the premiership flag. I think they're just a well-rounded team. I think they have very good forwards, very consistent forwards. Christian Pachaka is playing absolutely out of his mind. He is he's not out of form at all. He's actually, it's just magnificent the way that he's playing right now. And so I just think North Melbourne does not have the experience, the veterans, nor the heart, nor the consistency to keep up with Melbourne. And I will stand firm on that.
Okay. I can agree with you that Melbourne will win this game, but 80 points sounds a little preposterous.
Absolutely.
You have to keep in mind, this is North Melbourne versus Melbourne. Rivalry game. Tensions are high. Family ties. Battle of the city. North versus Melbourne.
No. They're still getting ass whooped.
Although they do get their ass whooped. I will say they will get their ass whooped by only
40 so.
By only 35 points.
Oh, somebody getting their ass whooped less than that.
I think North is going to put up their best fight that we've seen from North up so far this season against their hometown rivals. They cross the train, whatever boundary line that you have, North Melbourne and Melbourne. This is what they fight for. So I believe that they're gonna come to this game with warrior mentality, and hopefully they lose like true warriors, because they're not beating Melbourne. Melbourne 35.
Next game, we have Carlton, good old Carlton Blues, When you say Carlton, I feel like I'm part of the gang. You gotta feel angry. Carlton. Y'all don't know about that. If you watch the game, you know about that. Carlton versus the Essendon Dons. And guess what's gonna happen? Carlton is gonna whoop Essendon ass by a 2 and a 5. That's a 25 piece. $25. 25 points. Carlton is going to be Essendon. I'm looking you dead in the camera. Look at it. Dead in the camera. Carlton, don't let me down. Last time I said this, y'all let me down. So guess what? Boom. Walsh about to play better than Darcy Parish. Boom. Let's say it like that. McKay about to play better than Cale Hooker. Cale Hooker plays like him. They both missed. But guess what? He ain't second on the Coleman medal right now. So guess what? Harry McKay about to do his thing. Look, we're about to work on getting him the ball, man. McGovern, you got to start doing your thing. You got to do a little better, man. We got to, look, Eddie Betts, we got to make them goals that we missed last week. We got to do all that. Look, McCripps, I know you got beat up a little bit. Look, you got to come out here like hard, man, like you do all the time. You got to come out here like hard, bro, every time. Look, we got to do the thing, bro. We can't lose this game. This is a rivalry game, bro. This is it. 2 and 5, it's over with. We're done. 2 and 4, 3 and 4, we in there. That's all I got to say, man. Rest my case. It's Lord.
All right, I got Essendon winning this game by 12. Pretty much I got them winning because he's going for Carlton, and why not add a little controversy, if you understand me. But no, Essendon has a nice squad though. They have, who did they play last? Oh yeah, they just beat Collingwood. Tip and Woody's starting to show up. Yeah. It's just seeming like around week 6, week 7, a lot of these veteran players that we've been hearing so much about, they're starting to come to light. They're starting to take this season a little serious. And I think Essendon's vets, specifically Tip and Woody, is going to show up. And yeah, man.
Yeah. Seriousness, in all seriousness though, we need, if the midfield can get some consistency and not turn the ball over and lose the ball and end up leading to transition, we'll be okay. As long as we crack that that back line, Ridley doesn't stop everything in Francis, we'll be okay. We'll win this game.
I will say y'all need this one because the next few games y'all got, boy.
That'll be the toughest 6 teams that we could play, so I'll be okay.
For the final game of this round 7.
Your bet. It all comes down to this.
So West Coast Eagles all day, every day. It's West Coast versus Frio. And you already know we going with West Coast. Even though we came off a horrific loss, bro, we know we was shit. We know we play ass. Don't nobody else got to call us wet toast. We know, bro. It's not gonna happen again. Especially not against Frio, bro. Bro, if we lose to Frio, bro, I'm not gonna accept it. That's not gonna happen. Frio's ass. Frio gonna stay ass. West Coast all day, every day. You already know that.
Facts.
And we getting JK back.
Alright. Alright, so Frio been holding it down on the tips, man, but I think this is where it's gonna come to a halt. Alright, I will say this though. If Frio does end up translating a lot of those behinds into goals, I can see them winning, but that's a strong if because they haven't done it yet. It seems that are more inferior than West Coast in my opinion. So by default, I'm gonna have to go with West Coast by 33. I think they're gonna answer a challenge. I think Adam Simpson challenged them after the performance they had last week. He did not look pleased at all in the post-game interview. He sounded like what an ideal coach should want from his. It sounds like a reaction from a great coach that you would expect, the type of reaction that you would expect from somebody who's been there and won a championship and knows what it takes. So I think he has his team ready. Even injuries, there's still a couple injuries, but they're getting some back. So I think that'll relieve them a little bit. And then they'll also come out knowing that it's the rival right across town, right here in Optus Stadium. So hopefully there's fans. I hope there's fans because it'll make it. I want to see what a Frio and a West Coast Eagle game will sound like. Packed out, whole Optus Stadium full with just screaming fans from both sides. So I have them. Did I say how much I won? 33?
33. I don't think I said mine. I got us winning by 30. So Yeah, man, we gonna turn out this blue tonight. Well, that night. That's tips.
Looks like that's all we got, man. Hopefully, we got some split decisions on this one too, so we'll see how this goes around.
Always, I didn't even. Gonna have to drop where we're at somewhere.
Yeah, in fact.
Shit, appreciate everybody that's liking, commenting, and subscribing, bro. We wouldn't be here without y'all, bro.
We definitely appreciate the support. Can't say it enough. Continue to keep up with us. We have consistent content coming, as you see. We stick to our word. We're doing it. We're doing what we can. Catching the games live and bringing you the best quality content we can bring you. So, yeah, keep on looking out for us, man. We'll be here.
Podcast coming soon. Look out for that. It's called Yank on the Footy Podcast. We're featured on that. Follow us on all social media. That's all going to be in the description down below. Goddamn.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else unless you got something to say about this week.
Next week, no, we excited for this week, bro, but just gonna wait and see.
Just gonna wait and see. Just gonna wait and see. Boy, I ain't Vietnamese. I ain't Vietnamese. I ain't Chinese.